The Trump administration found itself embroiled in yet another controversy today, as news broke of a concerning security lapse involving sensitive military plans and a group text message. The incident, which came to light through an anonymous leak, immediately raised concerns about the handling of classified information and the judgment of high-ranking officials. However, the administration was quick to downplay the incident, characterizing it as a minor glitch and emphasizing that no significant breach had occurred. The details of the incident remain murky, but sources suggest that a group text message, reportedly using the encrypted messaging app Signal, included National Security Advisor Michael Waltz and several other individuals outside of the government. It is alleged that within this group chat, sensitive military plans were discussed, raising serious questions about the potential exposure of classified information. The identity of the journalist and their connection to the group text remains unknown, adding another layer of intrigue to the unfolding story. The incident has drawn sharp criticism from some quarters, with accusations of negligence and recklessness being leveled at those involved. Critics argue that the casual discussion of sensitive military matters on an unsecure platform represents a serious breach of protocol and a potential threat to national security. The fact that the incident involved individuals outside of the government has only amplified these concerns, raising questions about the vetting and judgment of those entrusted with such sensitive information. Despite the gravity of the allegations, the Trump administration has maintained a united front in downplaying the incident. Officials have repeatedly stressed that no classified information was compromised, and that the group text was merely a forum for informal discussion among trusted individuals. This defense has done little to quell the concerns of critics, who argue that the very nature of the incident represents a concerning lapse in judgment and a disregard for the protocols surrounding the handling of classified information. In the wake of the breaking news, high-ranking intelligence officials were quick to respond to the allegations, offering a coordinated defense of the administration's actions and downplaying the severity of the incident. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, speaking in a hastily arranged press conference, asserted with unwavering confidence that no classified information had been compromised in the group text exchange. Her words, delivered with her trademark composure, aimed to assure the public that the situation was under control and that national security had not been jeopardized. CIA Director John Ratcliffe echoed Gabbard's sentiments, defending the use of encrypted messaging apps like Signal for communication among government officials. He argued that in today's digital age, secure communication platforms are essential for facilitating efficient and discreet dialogue on matters of national importance. Ratcliffe, known for his staunch defense of the administration's intelligence apparatus, maintained that all necessary precautions had been taken to ensure the security of the group chat, and that the incident was being blown out of proportion by the media and political opponents. The response from intelligence officials, while swift and seemingly coordinated, did little to address the underlying concerns about judgment and protocol. Critics were quick to point out that the use of an encrypted app does not excuse the discussion of sensitive military plans with individuals outside of the government. The incident, they argue, exposed a concerning disregard for the chain of command and the established protocols for handling classified information, regardless of the platform used for communication. Despite the assurances from intelligence officials, the incident has cast a shadow of doubt over the administration's handling of sensitive information. The fact that such a lapse could occur, even if unintentional, has fueled concerns about the judgment and competence of those entrusted with protecting national security. The incident serves as a stark reminder of the potential consequences of lax security protocols and the importance of maintaining vigilance in the face of evolving threats. At the center of the unfolding controversy stands National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, the man identified as the administrator of the controversial group text. A staunch Trump loyalist and a rising star within the administration, Waltz found himself thrust into the spotlight, forced to answer for his role in the alleged security breach. In a carefully worded statement released to the press, Waltz took full responsibility for the group text, acknowledging that it was his decision to include individuals outside of the government in the conversation. Waltz defended his actions, arguing that the group text was intended as a forum for informal discussion and brainstorming on a range of national security issues. He maintained that the individuals included in the group chat were trusted advisors and experts in their respective fields, whose insights he valued. Waltz insisted that no classified information was shared in the group text and that the conversation remained within the bounds of appropriate discourse on matters of national importance. Despite his attempts to downplay the incident, Waltz's explanation did little to quell the criticism. Opponents seized on the fact that he had admitted to including individuals outside of the government in discussions that potentially touched on sensitive military plans. The incident, they argued, demonstrated a concerning lack of judgment on Waltz's part and raised serious questions about his fitness to hold such a high-ranking position within the administration. Trump, however, remained steadfast in his support for Waltz, characterizing the incident as a minor glitch and praising his national security advisor's dedication and service to the country. In a tweet fired off in his signature style, Trump dismissed the controversy as a witch hunt orchestrated by the fake news media and reiterated his confidence in Waltz's ability to lead the nation's national security apparatus. Amidst the political firestorm engulfing the Trump administration, a glimmer of hope emerged from the world of medicine with the Food and Drug Administration's approval of Bucepa, a groundbreaking new antibiotic for the treatment of urinary tract infections. The approval, hailed as a major breakthrough in the fight against antibiotic resistance, marks the first new class of UTI antibiotics to hit the market in nearly 3 decades, offering renewed hope to millions of women and girls who suffer from these painful and debilitating infections each year. Bucepa's novel mechanism of action targets E. coli, the bacteria responsible for the majority of UTIs, in a way that previous antibiotics have not. By disrupting the bacteria's ability to replicate, Bucepa effectively eradicates the infection while minimizing the risk of antibiotic resistance developing. This targeted approach is a significant advancement over existing UTI treatments, which often rely on broad-spectrum antibiotics that can disrupt the body's natural bacterial balance and contribute to the growing problem of antibiotic resistance. The FDA's approval of Bucepa was based on the results of extensive clinical trials, which demonstrated the drug's safety and efficacy in treating a wide range of UTI cases. In these trials, Bucepa consistently outperformed existing antibiotics, achieving higher cure rates and lower recurrence rates. The drug was also well tolerated by patients with minimal side effects reported. These promising results have generated considerable excitement within the medical community, with many experts hailing Bucepa as a potential game-changer in the fight against UTIs. Bucepa is expected to be available to patients later this year, offering a much-needed new treatment option for women and girls over the age of 12 who suffer from UTIs. The drug's approval is a testament to the ongoing innovation within the pharmaceutical industry, and underscores the importance of continued investment in research and development to address unmet medical needs. The arrival of Bucepa marks a significant step forward in the battle against UTIs and offers hope for a future where these painful infections are more easily treated and prevented. Section 5. Green cards on hold, courts in the crosshairs, a flurry of domestic policy shifts. While the group text incident dominated headlines, the Trump administration also made waves on the domestic policy front, enacting a series of controversial measures that are sure to have far-reaching consequences. In a move that sent shockwaves through immigrant communities and sparked outrage among advocacy groups, the Department of Homeland Security announced the suspension of green card processing for a significant portion of applicants. The administration cited the need for increased vetting procedures, particularly for asylum seekers, as justification for the move, framing it as a necessary step to protect national security and ensure the integrity of the immigration system. Adding fuel to the fire, House Speaker Mike Johnson, a staunch Trump ally, put forth a radical proposal to eliminate a number of federal courts, arguing that such a move would streamline the judicial system and reduce government waste. The proposal, immediately met with fierce opposition from Democrats and legal experts alike, is seen by many as an attempt to further consolidate power within the executive branch and undermine the independence of the judiciary. Critics argue that eliminating federal courts would not only limit access to justice for many Americans, but also upset the balance of power that is fundamental to the nation's democratic principles. Further stoking controversy, Trump signed a new executive order requiring proof of citizenship for federal voter registration. a move widely seen as an attempt to suppress voter turnout among minority groups and solidify his base of support. The order, already facing legal challenges from civil rights organizations, has been condemned as a blatant attempt at voter suppression and an affront to the principle of universal suffrage. Opponents argue that the order is based on the false premise of widespread voter fraud and will disenfranchise countless eligible voters, particularly those from marginalized communities who may face greater obstacles in obtaining the necessary documentation. These latest policy moves, coming on the heels of the group text scandal, paint a picture of an administration seemingly determined to exert its authority and advance its agenda, even if it means circumventing established norms and undermining democratic institutions. The cumulative effect of these actions has been to deepen the partisan divide and further erode public trust in government. As the Trump administration enters its twilight years, it appears intent on leaving an indelible mark on the nation's political landscape, one characterized by controversy, division, and a relentless pursuit of power. Section 6. COVID funds cut, Social Security under fire, controversy on multiple fronts. As if the political landscape weren't turbulent enough, the Trump administration found itself embroiled in yet more controversy, this time stemming from decisions related to healthcare and social safety net programs. In a move that sparked outrage among public health experts and elected officials alike, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, announced the withdrawal of a staggering $11.4 billion in COVID-19 funding from state and local health departments. The decision, justified by the administration as a necessary step to reduce the federal deficit, has been met with widespread condemnation. Critics argue that it will cripple the nation's ability to combat the ongoing pandemic and future public health crises. Adding to the sense of alarm, Trump's nominee to head the Social Security Administration, Frank Bisignano, faced intense scrutiny from Senate Democrats during his confirmation hearing. Bisignano, a former financial industry executive with ties to Elon Musk and the cryptocurrency Dogecoin, has come under fire for his past support of policies that critics say would weaken Social Security and undermine its long-term solvency. His nomination has been met with fierce opposition from progressive groups, who view him as a threat to one of the nation's most vital social safety net programs. The confluence of these controversial decisions has fueled a growing sense of unease among many Americans, who are already grappling with the economic fallout of the pandemic and the uncertainty surrounding the future. The decision to cut COVID-19 funding at a time when the virus continues to circulate and new variants pose a constant threat has been particularly jarring, raising concerns about the administration's commitment to protecting public health. Similarly, the nomination of Bisignano to oversee Social Security has been met with deep skepticism, with many fearing that he will prioritize the interests of Wall Street over the needs of retirees and vulnerable Americans who rely on the program for their livelihoods. Taken together, these developments paint a troubling picture of an administration seemingly intent on dismantling vital social programs and prioritizing corporate interests over the needs of ordinary Americans. As the nation continues to grapple with the pandemic and its economic fallout, the Trump administration's actions have left many feeling anxious, uncertain, and deeply disillusioned with their government. The consequences of these decisions are likely to be felt for years to come, shaping the lives of millions and leaving a lasting legacy on the social fabric of the nation. Section 7. Glimmers of hope and justice. International headlines offer a mixed bag. While domestic turmoil dominated the news cycle, a series of international developments offered a glimmer of hope amidst the gloom. In a significant diplomatic breakthrough, Russia and Ukraine agreed to a ceasefire along the Black Sea, a move aimed at easing tensions in the region and averting a potential escalation of the long-running conflict. The agreement, brokered by international mediators, also includes a provision to ban attacks on energy infrastructure, a critical step towards stabilizing the region and ensuring the flow of vital resources. In a separate development that brought a measure of justice to a long-running legal saga, racketeering charges against entertainment mogul Sean Diddy Combs were dismissed by a federal judge. The charges, stemming from allegations of financial impropriety, had dogged Combs for years, casting a shadow over his career and personal life. While sex trafficking claims remain, the dismissal of the racketeering charges marks a significant victory for Combs and his legal team. Meanwhile, in a move welcomed by human rights groups worldwide, Palestinian filmmaker Hamdan Bilal was released from Israeli custody after being held for over a year without trial. Bilal, a vocal critic of the Israeli government's policies towards Palestinians, had been arrested on charges of inciting violence and supporting terrorism, accusations that he and his supporters vehemently denied. His release, while a cause for celebration, also serves as a stark reminder of the ongoing human rights concerns in the region and the plight of countless others who remain unjustly imprisoned. These international developments, while unfolding against a backdrop of global uncertainty and conflict, offer a flicker of hope that diplomacy, justice, and human rights can prevail even in the most challenging of circumstances. The ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine, if it holds, could pave the way for a lasting peace settlement, while the dismissal of charges against Sean Diddy Combs and the release of Hamdan Bilal serve as reminders that even in the face of powerful adversaries, the pursuit of justice and freedom can ultimately triumph. Section 8. Is baseball broken? MLB considers radical changes. Even the world of sports wasn't immune to the day's tumultuous news cycle, as Major League Baseball, or MLB, announced it was considering a series of radical rule changes aimed at shaking up the game and addressing concerns about its declining popularity. Facing criticism over lengthy games, a lack of action, and a perceived disconnect with younger fans, MLB is exploring a range of options, from implementing automated strike zones to introducing pitch clocks and limiting defensive shifts, all in an effort to inject more excitement and offensive firepower into the game. The proposed changes, which have sparked heated debate among players, coaches, and fans alike, represent the most significant overhaul of baseball's rulebook in decades. Proponents of the changes argue that they are necessary to modernize the game, attract new fans, and restore baseball to its former glory as America's pastime. They point to the success of similar rule changes in other sports, such as the introduction of the three-point line in basketball and the adoption of instant replay in football, as evidence that bold innovation can revitalize a sport and enhance its appeal. Opponents of the changes, however, argue that they would fundamentally alter the nature of the game, undermining its strategic depth and sacrificing tradition for the sake of fleeting entertainment. They argue that baseball's unique rhythms and nuances are what set it apart from other sports, and that tampering with its fundamental elements would be a grave mistake. The debate over baseball's future is likely to rage on for months to come, as the sport grapples with its identity in a rapidly changing world and seeks to find a balance between preserving its rich history and adapting to the evolving tastes of fans. The proposed changes to baseball, while seemingly insignificant compared to the weighty matters of national security and global affairs, reflect a broader societal trend towards questioning established norms and seeking new and innovative solutions to complex problems. Whether these changes will ultimately succeed in revitalizing the sport or alienate its core fan base remains to be seen. However, the very fact that such radical ideas are being seriously considered is a testament to the transformative times in which we live, where even the most cherished traditions are not immune to change. Section 9. A day of dissonance, from security lapses to medical breakthroughs. As the day drew to a close, a sense of dissonance hung in the air, a reflection of the jarring juxtaposition of events that had unfolded over the preceding hours. From the depths of a potential security breach to the heights of a groundbreaking medical discovery, from the rancor of political clashes to the glimmers of hope on the international stage, the day had been a microcosm of the complex and often contradictory forces shaping the world today. The alleged security lapse involving the Trump administration served as a stark reminder of the fragility of even the most secure systems and the constant need for vigilance in the face of evolving threats. The incident, regardless of its ultimate significance, underscored the importance of responsible leadership, sound judgment, and an unwavering commitment to protecting sensitive information. The fact that such a lapse could occur, even if unintentional, raised troubling questions about the competence and judgment of those entrusted with safeguarding national security. In stark contrast, the FDA's approval of Bujepa, the new UTI antibiotic, offered a beacon of hope and a testament to the power of human ingenuity to overcome seemingly insurmountable challenges. The drug's arrival on the market promised to alleviate the suffering of millions, and underscored the importance of continued investment in scientific research and development. Fujepa's success story served as a powerful reminder that even amidst the darkest of times, progress is possible, and solutions to even the most intractable problems can be found. The day's events, taken together, painted a picture of a world in flux, grappling with complex challenges and striving to find its footing amidst a sea of uncertainty. From the halls of power to the laboratories of scientific innovation, from the battlefields of geopolitical conflict to the playing fields of professional sports, the forces of change were at work, reshaping the world as we know it and leaving their mark on the course of history.